Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Monangiwa, aka The Chosen One. So on today's video, I am going to talk about what's a good offer for a teacher in China. If this is something that you find interesting, please stay tuned. The first thing that I will talk about will be your salary. Salary, when you negotiate, it depends on which city, which province you are going to be at. You see, if you're going to an expensive city, let's say for example Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, which other city is expensive? Let me just make these three examples. You have to make sure that your salary it's good enough for that city. Ask people in that city and ask them if the salary that the school is trying to give you will be able to make you live a comfortable life there, if you will be able to save certain amount of money when you're in that city. For example, if you are coming to Shanghai, you have to ask people that are in Shanghai that what could be a good offer in Shanghai. Do not accept a salary offer which is below 20,000 RMBs after tax, or maybe let's say 23,000 RMBs after tax in Shanghai. You will be shooting yourself. First of all, Shanghai is expensive, and then if you come to Shanghai with a salary which is like 23 before tax, you won't save any money. You won't save any money because chances are that you will be going out every weekend partying, you'll be buying clothes, you'll be going out to eat, going to parties, going to friends, a whole lot of things that you'll be doing. So just make sure that your salary in Shanghai is at most maybe like, not, let me not say at most, but it should not be like less than 25k after tax, because Shanghai, let me tell you, is expensive. I was telling some of my friends that Shanghai is quite expensive. I want to go back to a tier 2 city because I cannot afford the life in Shanghai. Though I'm getting paid a decent salary in Shanghai, but I just feel like I'm spending so much money in Shanghai that I was in Suzhou, where I was staying last year. So if you are negotiating for a salary in Shanghai, just make sure that it's not below 25k. Let me not only talk about Shanghai because there are other cities, but just make sure that your salary right now during the time of COVID, where it's so difficult for schools to get teachers, your salary is not below 20k RMBs in maybe tier 2 or tier 3 cities. The thing about salary is that you don't want to sit with your colleagues when you have accepted a salary which is very low, and then the topic about salary comes up when you're sitting with your colleagues and only find out that you are getting like way less than your colleagues. Your colleagues maybe are getting 3 times your salary. You don't want to be in that situation where you are accepting a salary because you are desperate and you just want to be in China, and then when you come here, you're sitting with your colleagues, they're telling you that, oh, they're getting paid this much, and when you look at your salary, you realize that, oh, well, I fucked myself. Your salary is not even close to your colleagues, and then you do a lot of work compared to your colleagues. You have too much pressure compared to your colleagues. Not too much pressure, but you are most experienced more than your colleagues. You qualify the most to be in the teacher in your school more than your colleagues. So you don't want to find yourself in that situation where your colleagues are earning way higher than your salary, because you will not be jealous, like, oh damn, this one is getting paid 3 times my salary. And when you look at it, you have 2 classes, your colleagues has 1 class. When you look at it, you have so many students, your colleagues have few students, but at the end of the day, they are getting paid more than you. You are doing the same job, but they're getting paid more than you. Just make sure that the salary that you negotiate for, it's closer to your colleagues. How do you find out that it's closer to your colleague's salary? You can ask them, how much do you think is best for me to negotiate for this school? They can tell you, negotiate for this amount, so that you don't fall short from their salary advertisement, or what they advertise, or what your colleagues are getting paid. The other important thing will be your salary during lockdown and during quarantine. You see, working in China right now after COVID is not the same. It's not the same. You can work for like 2 days in a week, and the other 3 days you'll be under lockdown. You can work 1 day in a week and then go to lockdown. In a whole year, you can find yourself maybe working for 3 months, only 3 months, because they may say, oh, there's a lockdown, and lockdowns here, they take forever to uplift the lockdowns. This time alone, I have only worked for like September, October, November, for 3 months. I'm going to work in December also, the whole year. And the thing is, I was not getting my full salary during the time wherein there was COVID lockdown. So when you negotiate with the school, ask them to pay you your full salary in case there's going to be a COVID lockdown. Ask them to pay you, if maybe it's not full salary, you can ask them to pay you maybe 80% or 90% of your salary. If the school say, oh, we cannot pay you 100% salary because you're not getting any income, you can ask them, okay, fine, give me 80% of the salary, give me 90% of the salary, because you don't want to spend your time sitting at home getting a minimum wage. It's not worth it. It's not worth you coming from your home country to come and sit in China, and then COVID lockdown happens and then you find yourself not getting paid 80% or 90% or maybe your full salary. So negotiate with the school, negotiate. If there's time of COVID, please pay me 80% or 90% of my salary. Because how are you going to pay for your expenses if you are not getting your salary? And how are you going to pay for food if you're getting paid, let's say 2,000 RMBs, which is a minimum wage in most cities? How then are you going to pay for your accommodation? How are you going to pay for your expenses that you left back in your country? So make sure that the school cover up your full salary during COVID lockdown. Or other school can say, okay, it's fine, you can send us videos and then they pay you your full salary, and it's okay, you can send videos and teach online, because there are other schools where you don't even have to teach online and then you don't get paid full salary. So make sure that during the time of COVID lockdown, the school is paying you your full salary. I cannot emphasize this much enough, guys. I stayed at home for like 5 months: February, March, April, May, June, July. 6 months. I was at home for 6 months getting minimum wage, not getting my full salary. So this year alone, I wasted because it's not my fault, it's because of COVID. I did not receive so much money. So just make sure that the school pays your full salary during the times of COVID lockdown. I only started working in August. The whole year I was doing nothing because of COVID lockdown. So make sure, I cannot emphasize this much enough again, make sure that the school pays you your full salary or pays you a 80% or 90% of your salary. Other thing you should negotiate for is housing. Well, this one, you don't have to negotiate for this one, because the schools are obliged by the Chinese law that they either give you a free apartment or they give you housing allowance. The thing about free apartment is that you don't have to pay for like 3 months rent in advance. The downside about it is that schools try to find the cheapest apartments where you can stay, because they don't have to waste so much money on an apartment for a foreign teacher. That's what they say. So they just look for the cheapest apartment, which is not even convenient enough for you to live in. So you can negotiate that, no, I don't want a free apartment, I want a housing allowance. But again, the thing with housing allowance is that you will have to pay 3 months rent in advance. But you can negotiate. In China, one thing that I've learned is that you can negotiate your way through anything. You can negotiate that, okay, I don't want to pay 3 months rent in advance, but instead I want to pay maybe 2 months rent in advance if you don't have money. And again, if you are looking for a housing allowance, you have to look for your own apartment. You can find your own beautiful, luxurious apartment. But if you are going for a free apartment, you don't have any option. You just go to that apartment that you are being given by the school. Some schools can say you can come and stay in campus, but don't advise anyone to stay in campus because of COVID again. If COVID happens and then they say they are locking down the school, you won't be able to go out. The only thing that you will do is stay in your campus. You won't go out. But if you are staying outside the campus, you can still go out. You can still go to the mall. You can still go to the parks. You will not go to the parks because they don't allow public gathering, but you can still do a lot of movements outside your community. But in other cities, they don't allow you to even go out if you are in under lockdown. The other thing should be the benefits. In benefits, I said benefits because there's insurance, there's holidays. So in terms of insurance, make sure, there's a lot of saying, or there are a lot of rumors that people are spreading that a lot of teachers are dying in China. Well, it's not true. A lot of teachers are not dying in China. There are some teachers, not even more than 4, that have passed away in China. It happens everywhere. Death happens everywhere. And it can also happen to you wherever you are. But if you are coming to China to be a teacher in China, just negotiate with your school that they give you an insurance. Your insurance should cover up your repatriation in case something happens to you while you are teaching here in China. Make sure that your contract cover up for your repatriation. You don't want to put yourself in a not yourself, but you don't want to put your parents or your family in a situation wherein they are asking people for donations because you passed away and then they need to send you back at home. To be repatriated, let's say for example to South Africa, it costs 400,000 rands. So you don't want to put yourself or your family in that situation wherein your family, your friends, your relatives are asking for donation from people to raise 400,000 rands so that you can be sent back at home. You know, some people will even talk like, but this one is working in China and then they are saying that they're getting a lot of money. This one is working in China and then she's been living a nice life. She has been posting good life on Instagram. What was she doing with their money? They may not even want to donate because they look at your post like, oh, you're living a nice life, it means you're getting a lot of money. It means you are saving. But they just don't know that a lot of us have so many responsibilities back at home. A lot of us have so many responsibilities even here in China. They don't know that there are lockdowns, you don't even work the whole year. So they may say, oh, we're not going to help the person because she's been working in China. That time you have only worked for 2 months in a whole year in China. So make sure that your contract covers for your repatriation in case you pass away in China. Don't say I'm going to take the risk because you don't know what will happen to you. Death is inevitable. It's near everyone. So make sure that the school covers up for your repatriation. And also the school, while you're in China, cover up for your medical insurance in case you get sick, in case you get injured, in case maybe something hits you and then or maybe let's say in case you break your leg, you need to go to the hospital. The school should also be able to give you winter and summer holidays. We work so much in this country, guys, and trust me, we work a lot. You need winter and summer holidays. Don't make yourself like a robot, because if you don't negotiate for winter and summer holidays, you will work throughout the whole year without resting, and it's not going to be good for your body. You need to rest. So you should negotiate with the school that at least they give you a week or maybe 2 weeks or whatever the amount of weeks that they will give you during winter and summer holidays. You need these holidays. And again, when you're negotiating for winter and summer holidays, make sure that you're negotiating with the school so that they pay you full salary during winter and summer holidays. Though some schools cannot pay you full salary during winter holidays, they can pay you they can give you like a half salary. But in winter, just make sure that, in the summer, just make sure that at least they are paying you your full salary. I may have left some other examples, but just make sure that this one that I have mentioned, you negotiate with them. I've been in China for 3 years and I've seen the importance of this thing that I have just discussed. I'm saying this based on my experience, not anybody's experience. That's why I use myself as an example, because I'm not talking about other people. Other people have good offers, other people do not have good offers. I also have a good offer. Well, thank God, because I've grown from experience of trying to negotiate for good offers, but previously I was not negotiating for good offers. So make sure that you negotiate for these kind of things when you are a teacher or you want to be a teacher here in China. Anyway guys, thank you for watching my YouTube video. If this is something that you find interesting, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, and also please do not forget to hit the like button. See you on the next one. I'm out of here. Boom.